It's really disappointing. 154 people lost their lives, all at unpatrolled locations with no red and yellow flags. 4 times more drownings during public holiday, long weekend. Our teams are on high alert at this time of year. Fortunately, the risk just goes through the roof. And as we've seen in those statistics, 30 people have lost their lives since the 1st of December in Australia.
So talk us through about through the use of AI in surf life saving. You mentioned about those cameras where it will automatically detect if someone is in trouble. Say if I'm at a beach and I see someone is in trouble, what are the first things that I should do? Welcome to another episode of Silent Pigs. Today we are discussing about a very important topic, how to be safe in and around water. And we have Michael from Surf Life Saving Australia. He's worked with Surf Life Saving Australia for a long time. He's with us today in our studio. Michael, welcome to Silent Pigs.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for your time. So talk us through your day in Surf Life Saving. What do you do day in, day out?
Yeah, so my job working for the peak body is to, bring all the states and the Northern Territory together as one. And we look to sort of have consistent safety messaging right across the country, as well as, make sure that all of our volunteers and lifeguards are providing a similar sort of service around the country. But not just with that, I also volunteer on the beach. So right. I do spend a lot of time on the beach and on the water, volunteering, which is still very close to my heart. Making sure that Wanda down in the Sutherland Shire and Cronulla is safe, and it's a big part of my life being involved in surf life saving.
Great. Yeah, so Cronulla, it has got a huge coastal line that the beach is really stretched across. How do you manage? What do you do to make sure that there are no incidents related to water? What are the few things that you would do at your job?
Yeah, so I guess the first thing we do alongside the council lifeguards is look for the safest place on the beach to swim. That's where we put the red and yellow flags. And if there's no safe place, we don't put any red and yellow flags up that day. And when we look about as to where the flag should go, we look for rip currents. And rip currents are generally deeper parts of water where the water needs to flow back out to sea. Sometimes people will think that is safe because it looks calm, but generally that's where the moving water or the current is. The breaking water or the whitewash identifies shallow water and a safer place to swim. So we'll look to put the red and yellow flags in the shallow zone. But in Cronulla especially, we're so lucky that we have 4 surf clubs. So that's 4 patrols, 4 sets of flags that people can choose from to go for a swim. And that's aided with our jet skis roving around, patrolling those unpatrolled locations, our UAVs, we have inflatable rescue boats, and we have our volunteers moving along the sand, looking to prevent rescues essentially. We don't really want to rescue people. We want to prevent people from getting into trouble. But sadly, of the 154 drownings that we have had in Australia in the past 12 months, they've all occurred at unpatrolled locations. So we have, over 400 patrolled services in Australia, over 10,000 beaches, over 50,000 kilometres of coastline. We can't simply be everywhere. We try to be, but it's really disappointing and tragic, to be honest, that 154 people lost their lives, all at unpatrolled locations with no red and yellow flags.
Yeah, absolutely tragic statistics. So in terms of, let's say if someone wants to go to Cronulla, let's put Cronulla as an example. So someone wants to go to beach to do some swimming. So one thing they have to look at would be red and yellow flags.
Yeah, that's right. That identifies the safest place to swim. But in saying that, if you're not a confident swimmer, if you do see red and yellow flags, stay close to shore anyways, where you can touch the bottom. If you have young kids, still keep an eye out on them, and keep them close to shore where they feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable going to the beach for a swim, that's fine. There's other locations that are safe to swim, like rock pools or your local swimming pool. You don't feel obliged to swim at the beach if you don't have to. But ultimately, something that we as Australians are very proud of are our beaches, and they're free for everyone. So we do want people to enjoy it and to not be scared of the beach. And a lot of people go around rock platforms and find dangerous places to fish, not wearing life jackets or in dangerous positions that they don't know if they can get themselves out of, or what they're going to do if they fall in the water, or if they've thought about whether the tide's coming up and they're going to run out of area to stand. It's just simple things like that play into our message in our campaign, which is called Stop, Look, Stay Alive. So what we want people to do before they even think about going to the beach is to stop and come up with a bit of a plan.
Right.
That includes visiting. We have an app called Beach Safe, and that'll give you all the data about where the closest beach is, its risk profile. So you might be looking for a more calm beach. And then when you do go to the beach, want to look. Every beach has various safety signs as well before you actually get down to the beach. And it'll tell you that this beach might have rips, it might have dangerous currents, it might have a heavy shore break, exposed rocks, things like that. And then ultimately, stay alive means if you do get into trouble, you can put your hand up, just remain calm and ask for assistance. And hopefully there's a lifeguard or lifesaver nearby to help out. But if you have a good plan in place that includes swimming between the red and yellow flags, as I said, no one's drowned between the red and yellow flags.
Fantastic.
So if you find them, you're going to have a good chance of making your way home that day.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think people in general, they especially if someone knows how to swim, they might not think of swimming in between the flags, and probably that's when they get into trouble. So in terms of statistics, we were discussing before as well, like, why is it that more than 80% of incidents in terms of gender is for male? Do you have any, like, I'm sure you have done a lot of rescues in the beach and in water as well. What do you think is the reason why more male are getting in trouble in water? Like, is it because they are more careless, or what's the situation? What do you think?
I think so. I mean, generally males don't live as long as females, but I think us blokes, we take more risks, unfortunately. We did survey people on the beach about if they don't swim between the flags, why? And some people, especially males, like they want to go and swim in their own area. Or they simply just don't want to be in a crowded area in the red and yellow flags, and they don't really have as much concern for the risk that comes with that. So
right,
it is a trend that we've seen over the last 20, 30 years that between 80, 95% of our drowning numbers have always been male. So it's a call out if you're listening, blokes, guys. Behave. Make a smart decision.
Yeah, if you're planning to go to a beach or any water resources, make sure you have a proper plan. So in terms of planning, let's do a little bit, dig a little bit deeper in how one can plan. So let's say for me, I don't really go to water resources. I don't really go to the beach. It's a rare thing. But if I say, let's say tomorrow morning, I want to go to the beach, Cronulla, with my friends, or maybe unpatrolled beach. So what are the few things that I must be careful about? Like, is there anything I can, carry, or, any precaution I need to take?
Yeah, look, you can look to carry various flotation devices if you like when you swim, or ultimately most locations around our coastline are going to have places that don't have many waves, or places where you can feel really comfortable with your swimming ability. Like in Sydney, you might choose to go to Ramsgate, for example, and there's sort of calm conditions. You can still enjoy the water at a pool location, or even at Cronulla, there's parts of Cronulla that are tucked away that don't get many waves, for example. But in saying that, people still drown when there's no waves. And often it's because people panic when they can't touch the bottom or whatever it is. And so what we say to people, the number one thing is if you do find yourself in trouble is to remain calm, because people exert a lot of energy when they panic.
Yeah.
And that's when they drown. So remain calm, number one. Number two, if you can float, try and float. The water, the salt water is very buoyant.
True.
So we encourage people to float and to raise your arm and get assistance. And we actually, with our colleagues at Royal Lifesaving, they often say that we're a country of bathers, not swimmers. If you go to the beach, don't really see people swimming freestyle out the back. They're normally just wading or bathing in the water.
Right.
They're waist deep, jumping over the waves at a place where they can stand up.
Yeah.
So find a way to enjoy the ocean that is comfortable for you, I guess. And if you don't know that yet, don't do it when it's a big day with big surf, or don't do it when you've had a few drinks, or don't do it by yourself. That's especially for people coming from overseas.
Yeah.
They're the times when we see people paying the ultimate sacrifice. And we've seen that, with recent drownings at Coogee, people drinking alcohol at weird times going for a swim. It's not a smart decision. And that's what we're really calling out to people to change their behaviors.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned a good point. I think, for example, if me and my friends, if we want to go for a swim or something, if we want to go to a beach, we would try, if we are doing a barbecue nearby, we will definitely have a couple of beers. And then, that's when things get a bit difficult, mixing drinking and swimming.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned offline about spending time at a beach. Like for us, anyone from overseas, they might, from people from Nepal, they haven't seen a beach before. They want to go to a beach and enjoy as much as possible. So they might spend more time and drinking and then mixing all those together. It's not a good thing at all.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking offline about how in some locations, people from overseas or Australians, they might have to pay an entry fee, like in International Park, and they commit to bringing the barbecue, bringing all the eskies, and it's a big day outing, which is great. But I think what happens is people are then finding remote, unpatrolled areas because they've got so much time and they want to diversify their day, and that's where they might make a decision that's risky or get themselves into trouble in a remote location. So yeah, I mean, there's also plenty of opportunities to learn how to swim as well. I mean, we've got a group at Cronulla called the Swim Brothers.
Oh yeah, right.
And they're from Western Sydney and sort of predominantly from Lebanese background, and they've sort of come together and they run swimming programs for males. And they've actually just learned how to be lifesavers and done their bronze medallion at Wanda as well. And they're now with us on patrol. So, and I know there's other programs. I've seen one for Muslim females. They come together and learn how to swim. So swimming is something that we should all be able to enjoy. And I think for people from Nepal, I get it. You don't have much water in Nepal, and
no one knows how to swim.
No beaches.
Hardly 10% people know how to swim. That's the other reason. Yeah,
maybe that's something to come out of this discussion, is that maybe it can be an action group to come together and start learning how to swim and actually enjoy it, because it's a great part of Australian culture that I love to see everyone enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you for that. So tell me a little bit about. You mentioned about the rip current, how it is dangerous. Can we see a rip current from the beach? Like when we stand at the beach and see, okay, that's the rip, that's not the rip. Can we actually distinguish that thing?
You can, but a lot of people struggle to distinguish what a rip current looks like. We have new sort of virtual reality technology where we've actually been testing people to spot rips. As I said earlier, rips are generally the darker, coloured water or calmer water, it looks stagnant. There's no crashing waves because that identifies deeper water where the water is trying to get back out to sea. So the waves crash in, they come in on the shallow where the sandbank is, and then they need to find a way to get back out to sea.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like an arc, I guess, depending on the beach morphology. But generally, if you have an elevated position, you can see it. And we don't put the flags there. We don't want people swimming there because that's where the water is running. That's where the current is at its strongest.
Right.
But ultimately, if you get stuck in it, it's not going to take you to New Zealand. It's just going to take you back to out the back, and it's going to circle you back in through the break.
Right.
So when we put kids through nippers, through the surf club, we actually teach them how to survive a rip and how to be, what to do if you get yourself in a rip. But ultimately, for people listening at home, we don't want anyone finding themselves in that position. We want you to stay close to shore where you can stand up, swim between those red and yellow flags because you'll be in a shallow area on a sandbank.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you'll be a lot safer than if you get in that rip.
Yeah. So between the red and yellow flags, that's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
If you want to really swim other way around, it would be swimming in a rock pool or swimming pool anywhere in the community, but not in an open sea where there is no red flags, red and yellow flags.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the ultimate message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for that. So moving on to, I've got a few statistics from the website of Surf Life Saving Australia. So from 1st of December till 4th of January, which was yesterday, altogether there were around, so the statistics here says 30 drowning, 21 male, and 24 of them was in the coastal area. So holiday period is just like its peak of everything else. It's also a busy season for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you're almost 4 times more likely, or we see 4 times more drownings during public holiday, long weekend periods. So our teams are on high alert at this time of year because we know that unfortunately that the risk just goes through the roof. And as we've seen in those statistics, 30 people have lost their lives since the 1st of December in Australia.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I see, what's happened over Christmas and New Year's, especially in the Sydney area. And it's just some tragic news. That's how some families have lost some loved ones because of some decisions that they've made, or, swimming at all hours of the night, drinking alcohol, swimming ultimately at unpatrolled locations. And we've had a big swell in Sydney over the New Year period, and it's it hasn't been a good combination. So that's why we keep stressing those messages, and our lifesavers and lifeguards do over 8,000 rescues every single year across Australia. Wow. So those numbers ultimately could be a lot worse.
Yeah. So talk us through about through the use of AI in surf life saving. You mentioned about those cameras where it will automatically detect if someone is in trouble. How does that work? And obviously people will be more excited to learn how AI can help you guys as well.
Yeah. So we're lucky we've got some funding through the Australian government, and we've developed through a company these cameras that identify when a rock fisherman goes into the ocean, and essentially it then pings or sends a message to our state operations center, our communications hub, that there's someone in the water at that location, and will then task an asset, normally a jet ski, to that location to rescue that person. So we do have hotspots around the country where people fish, and we've seen a number of drownings. And that location, for example, where we've installed that first camera is Little Bay in the Randwick local government area near Maroubra. Station that camera facing north at where people fish, and as soon as someone falls in the water, the AI draws a square around them, So pinpoints where they are, that they're in the water, and creates through that workflow a message to our first responders to go and help them, I guess.
Right. I've seen in news that I'm not sure what location was it, but a drone was used to detect shark in the water.
Yep.
Is it something you guys use to rescue people as well, or is it something that's coming in the future? Or
yeah, so we have hundreds of drones around the country, and they have technology that can differentiate the species of shark, whether it's a tiger shark, a bull shark, a great white, or even a small shark,
right?
Or whether it's a turtle or a seal. So it's very smart technology, and those drones are also obviously used to alert our lifesavers and lifeguards whether people are getting themselves into trouble in rips. So they're very useful, and we're very lucky for the funding that we've had. We used to have technology where we could deploy a flotation device, but I think there are sort of restrictions with CASA about how you can do that. But I think that's developing more and more.
CASA is the aviation.
Yeah, the Civil Aviation Safety Authority. So yeah, the drone technology is crazy. Like I even heard the other day, there's a drone that can potentially lift someone out of the water. It's that strong. Wow. So that's potentially where the future is going with drones. We do partner with our colleagues in Japan, and their drone AI technology is even further than where we're at already. So
Japanese are smart.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty crazy tech.
Yeah, fantastic. So I've got a question about. Okay, I'll put the question. If like, let's say if I'm at a beach and I see someone is in trouble, what are the first things that I should do? Should I go into the water, try to save that person? Like, how do I do? Like,
it's a great question. Yeah. Bystander rescues is something that is highly represented in our statistics, and that is people going in to rescue people or a loved one, and then they drown themselves. So it's very common. So the first thing you need to do is call 000. The police straight away will task us to get to that incident. We have people scattered all over the country. We have assets everywhere. So, we'll get to you quickly. The second thing to do is, and we're doing we have a project running at the moment around public rescue equipment. So we're actually looking to standardize and to place public rescue equipment all around the country. That is, we've heard or seen how many people are going in. We want to at least give you a flotation device. So if you're going to go in, you've got something to hold on to or something that you can actually help save someone with.
Right.
But ultimately, if you don't have any swimming ability, even with public rescue equipment, we don't want you to go in because we don't want you to lose your life as well. So that's the core message there. Call 000. If you can't go in because you're not competent at swimming, don't go in. But if you are a competent swimmer, try and find a flotation device. It can be an esky or, I don't know, a football if it's big enough. Right. If there's a rescue tube or a life buoy around, take it with you to try and help that person.
Right. Yep. Thank you. That's a really important message for everyone who is looking at this, watching this on YouTube or Spotify, whatever. So it's a short conversation. We are almost about to finish the conversation. So last message to someone, especially from Nepalese background, I would say.
Yep.
Because in the recent news, I saw 2 people have lost their lives from Nepalese background. What would you suggest if someone is, planning to go to a beach or a water area? What are your suggestions for them?
So the first thing that they can do is download the Beach Safe app, or look at there's a website for it too. It's just Google Beach Safe, and essentially it'll give you so much information about which beach you can go to, what's happening on the day in terms of when the patrol is, where the patrol is, the size of the waves, things like that. But and we want everyone to go to the beach and to be safe. So that'll tell you where to find a beach with red and yellow flags. Ultimately, there could be a day, for example, in Sydney where there's really bad weather, the swell is up and there's no red and yellow flags everywhere because the beaches are closed.
Right.
So we probably don't want you to go to the beach on that day. But for Nepalese people, if you feel really uncomfortable about the ocean, maybe try and do a swimming lesson first in a pool environment, or try and learn just basic swim survival skills like how to float, things like that. But if you are going to go to the beach, find the red and yellow flags and try and stay close to shore where you can stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Take a friend with you. So don't go alone. They would be my core messages. And obviously don't drink, don't combine it with alcohol, drugs, things like that. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Michael.
No, that's all right. Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Great. All right. Thank you. That was short and sweet conversation.
Yeah, that's good.
29 minutes. Fantastic.
We should get a photo.